With imports from the 49ers, the head coach has his team riding a 3-game winning streak. Plus, another new hero for the Giants, and the Colts, believe it or not, are tied for first in the AFC South. More MMQB. For the Bills, it's all going according to plan. NFL Week 6 takeaways. Joe Burrow dressed for success thanks to Jamar Chase. NFL scouting notes. Hendon Hooker, Zay Flowers. On ESPN's pregame show, Rex Ryan told a story we covered in the September 5th MMQB, one that explained how the outgrowth of Ryan ripping Jets coach Robert Saleh was a conversation between the two that led to material changes in the team's roster. Ryan explained to Saleh the value he got in bringing program guys such as Bart Scott and Jim Leonhard with him from the Ravens to the Jets and suggested the Jets coach do the same in year 2. Saleh took Ryan's words to heart and imported Kwon Alexander, Laken Tomlinson and D.J. Reed, who were with him in San Francisco. The result, as the guys there see it now, is a Jets team that's more bonded now than in recent memory. And those ties, the players think, along with the experience many of those players have from winning programs, are starting to change the face of a team that carries the longest playoff drought in the NFL. So you want to know how Jets 27, Packers 10 happens? You can feel the confidence, linebacker CJ, all game, especially, and obviously on defense. I know the only thing we would talk about is executing our drive. When we get back on the field, let's make sure we execute, don't give up anything easy. Make them earn every single yard. And I feel like that's what we did the majority of the day. We didn't worry about the score. We didn't worry about who was in or who was going to do what. Once we saw a formation, we knew what they wanted to do and we executed. They did to the point where an interesting quarterback battle in this one pitting an all-time great Aaron Rodgers against a promising, improving former top 5 pick Zach Wilson was rendered, more or less, irrelevant. Wilson threw for just 110 yards on 10 of 18 passing without a touchdown. Rodgers, on the other hand, threw for more than double that, 246, and didn't throw a pick, with 3 different Packers recording at least 3 catches. The problem, for the hosts, was that the Jets won just about everywhere else. They outrushed the Packers nearly 3 times over, 179-60, behind Breece Hall, part of a bumper crop of rookies. They limited receivers Lazard and Romeo Doubs to the point where both caught less than half the balls thrown their way. Rodgers was sacked 4 times and fumbled twice, losing one of them. And a lot of being able to cross the Packers up was a result of the relationships between the staffs. Jets coach Robert Saleh was in Packers coach Matt LaFleur's wedding, and vice versa, and LaFleur's little brother, Mike, is Saleh's offensive coordinator. With the game plan we had, we knew everybody just had to do their job, Mosley says. We know when we went in cover 1, then we had to align our corners and our DBs, and we knew our D-line was going to have to get back there and cause pressure. And when we were in zone, we know Aaron likes to get the ball across the middle, get it to his backs and let them make plays. I felt like when they did get the ball, we were there. They didn't get a lot of yards after catch and obviously with the run game. I feel like we did a really good job with that. The really wild thing is after Micheal Clemons blocked a Pat O'Donnell punt in the 3rd quarter, and Will Parks returned it 39 yards for a touchdown to give the Jets a 17-3 lead, the visitors had a counterpunch for everything the Packers threw at them. After Parks' touchdown, Rodgers took the Packers 75 yards in 6 plays to make it 17-10, and the Jets turned right around and went 55 yards in 6 plays, with Hall scoring from 34 yards out to answer. The Packers drove again, but the Jets tightened up on the fringe of field goal range. This doesn't feel like the old Jets. At this point, with a 3-game winning streak, the rookie class shining, and the team a game out of first, alone in 2nd place in the AFC East, it's fair to ask whether the Jets might be the division's 2nd-best team. We'll find out soon with 3 consecutive AFC East games, 2 against the Patriots, 1 against Buffalo, coming after next Sunday's game in Denver. For now, the good news is the Jets seem ready for all that, and, as much as anything, it's because they have players who have been through it before. I don't take any of the time that I've been with the Jets for granted, because wins are hard to come by, no matter who you play for, says Mosley, a former Raven. But I just hope that every time we win these type of games, whether we're home or away, that we'll reflect on what it took to get to where we are now. The work, the time we had to put in, each player individually working on whatever little things helped him get better for that week, for each other. And I just really feel that the way we just go out and work every day, it's not caring about who the opponent is, not caring about if it's America's game, not worried about none of that. We're just going to go out here, execute and show what type of football team we are. To this point, we can say it looks like a much better one. Love, 20, intercepted Lamar Jackson late in the fourth quarter to set up the Giants' game-winning touchdown. Danielle Parhaskaran, NorthJersey.com/USA Today Sport. If ID told you in early September that one of the New York teams would be 4-2 after 6 weeks and would have the worst record of the two, you wouldn't have believed me. That's where we are right now. The Jets are 4-2, and the Giants are 5-1. And as the current leader among Jersey's NFL entries, it seems like the Giants have a new hero just about every week. So here's one for this week that the national audience might be missed. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. The 59-year-old veteran of nearly 2 decades on NFL sidelines was front and center in the second New York upset Sunday, helping the Giants put the brakes on the Lamar Jackson MVP freight train and a Ravens team that came in rolling. Martindale, of course, did it playing with a pretty notable advantage. He spent the past decade coaching defense in Baltimore, having been coordinator there the last 4 years, and was something of a mentor to Mike Macdonald, whom John Harbaugh tabbed to replace Martindale after coaching 7 previous years with him. All the same, he and the Giants knew the challenge was going to be a stiff one, which is why leading into the Giants' 24-20 win Sunday, Martindale wanted to start on a very basic level with his players, stressing the importance of assignment football. It was a challenge, fourth-year safety Julian Love says. This is the best offense in the league, one of the best, and really it was a huge do-your-job type of game. When we were man coverage on 89, Mark Andrews, who's dangerous, you have to be locked into him. We have to know where he is all the time. And with Lamar, you got to try to contain him any way you can, because when he scrambles, he's dangerous. It wasn't perfect by any means today. The plan was a great plan, but they're a great offense. And so we just made critical plays in critical situations that helped us get the win. And no one made a bigger one than Love. With 3:04 left and leading 20-17, the Ravens faced 3rd and 5 from their own 40. Jackson lost a bad snap, had to chase it down, then scrambled to his right to try to avoid the rush and make a play. Unfortunately for him, Love got a bead on where he'd be going with the ball. Bobbled snap, and when that happens, anything can happen really, especially with a quarterback like Lamar, Love says. So he got it, and I saw his eyes immediately downfield, and so I saw 42, fullback Pat Ricard, kind of open, and I really just baited the throw and hoped that he would try to make a play and push it downfield. It's moments like that where you just got to take advantage of. Love did, staying behind Ricard until Jackson let it go, breaking on the ball, picking it, and running it back from the Ravens' 40 to their 13. 4 snaps later, Saquon Barkley barreled in from a yard out to give the Giants the lead for good. And the defense wasn't done, either. 2 plays after that touchdown, rookie rusher Kayvon Thibodeau sacked Jackson to finish the Ravens off. So went the afternoon for a defense that, out of nowhere, is playing at a pretty high level for a really experienced coordinator. He lets us play to all our strengths and allows us to grow new strengths to our game, Love says. He also gives us a chance to try in different areas.